Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're good, and as you can see by the title of this video, you know what this video is going to be about. I just thought that this is a movement that a lot of people, this is an exercise that a lot of people struggle with, and especially as I've done my cross lifter plan, a lot of people have asked for, scaled versions and also progression as well, and that is the pull-ups. The pull-up is a staple in any programming that you see, but unfortunately a lot of the time we forget that not everyone can do them, or everyone's a beginner, and sometimes we forget that people are already good at them but they're just not progressing. So what I've done is, yes, there are a lot of tutorials out there, but I feel like there's a little bit more that I can add to this video to help you. So if you're trying to get your first pull-up and you've never done any before, or you're really good at pull-ups but you want to progress and take it to the next step. So for example, you can do 10 pull-ups but you want to probably be able to do 12, 15. So this video, I have included tips to help you get your first pull-up and tips to help you improve your pull-ups as well as progress them. Also, don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up, that would be awesome. And of course, don't forget to subscribe because you know you want to. So let's just get straight into the video. So the first thing you want to do before you even touch a bar, before you even attempt to do a pull-up, I find a lot of people struggle with lat activation. Now, with activating your lats, with engaging your lats, because a lot of the times we think that a pull-up is just jumping on the bar, putting ourselves up, and that's it. No, it's a back exercise. We're actually meant to be working our back. And a lot of the times when people struggle with pull-ups is because A, your lats are pretty weak, and B, you don't know how to engage them. You don't know how to fully engage them to perform the exercise. So before we even touch the bar to do a pull-up, there's three things we're going to do. We're going to do a scapular pull-up, we're going to do a banded high row or high pulls, and we're going to do some barbell inverted rows. Now, the first one, which is a scapular pull-up, as you can see in the video, is a great exercise to engage your lats before doing a pull-up. Because A, it teaches you how to engage your lats before you do a pull-up, and it's a great way to activate your lats. So take your time and do this. This is pretty simple to do. All you're doing is, I call it a reverse shrug. So you want to start with a dead hang on the bar, and then you just shrug up and down. Keep your arms as nice and straight as possible. And you want to do that for a few reps. As you can see, I'm not rushing this, I'm taking my time on it. And then the second exercise, which I know probably looks weird as anything, is a scapular retraction row. So as you can see in the video, I am just, again, shrugging my scapula down and up. Again, this is a great way to learn how to engage my lats. So try and do this even on a cable machine. If you don't want to use a band, you can use a cable machine. Okay, so when performing this, remember, just shrug down, keeping your arms as straight as possible. It's a great cue for doing any form of benching. So when we say to you, retract your shoulder blades, this is a great way to learn how to do that. The third exercise is an inverted row. This is another great way to engage your lats and activate them before you do a pull-up. All three of these exercises are awesome to do because it teaches you A, how to engage your lats, and it also helps to activate your lats before you even get onto the bar. And then next we're going to start with some great exercises to help you, I call them accessory work, to help you get your first pull-up. So first is banded pull-ups. As you can see, there are three different bands. The idea is to start with one that you can do comfortably. So usually that will be the medium, which is the green one. So if you can do 10 reps at least on one of the bands, progress to the second one, and then progress to the slightly lighter one. Because this is a great way to see how you're progressing through this exercise. And then next we have negatives. Again, this is another great way to work your lats. So remember that you work the muscle a lot more during the eccentric phase of the exercise. So with the negatives, you want to use a box or a bench, whichever is easy. You don't want to work hard to pull yourself up. The workout is focusing predominantly on the eccentric portion. So jump up to the bar, and then you want to take at least a 3-4 second eccentric all the way down, and then jump back into position. Remember, you're not working on the concentric phase, but you're focusing on the eccentric. So putting the muscle under as much tension as possible, because that is the best way we are going to grow. So just remember that. So next we have ring inverted rows, which is a great way to work your lats unilaterally. So you can use a barbell like we did in the beginning. However, I love using the rings because, again, like I mentioned, it helps you work on both sides unilaterally. So one side isn't doing more work than the other. If you don't have a ring in your gym, use a TRX, that works just as well. As you can see, try and get as low as possible. However, if you cannot do that, you can start at a slightly higher position, and then as you get more confident, try and lower yourself down as much as you can. Again, same applies when you're using a TRX. Now, to progress this, if you find that too easy, elevate your feet. So get a box, put your feet up, and as you can see, I am almost aligned with that box, and then perform the rows. Another tip is to focus on the tempo, the time on the tension during the eccentric. Okay, quick as you can up towards the rings and nice and slowly down. The same thing applies when you're doing this with a barbell, same thing applies when you're doing it with a TRX. So nice and slowly down during the eccentric. Take about a 2-3 seconds. You can vary the eccentric when you're performing the rows. The great thing about inverted rows is it forces you to use your lats a lot more when pulling yourself up, especially the lower you are to the ground, the harder this exercise becomes. So the one thing that a lot of people don't think about when doing pull-ups is their grip strength and forearm strength. So I find a lot of people don't have very good grip strength and weak forearms. And the best way you can fix this is do some dead hangs. And that's pretty simple. You're just hanging off a bar. So hanging off the bar for as long as possible. So I like to time it. So maybe 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off, 50 seconds on, 20 seconds off, 60 seconds on, 20 seconds off. So the longer you can hold on and hang off the bar, you know that you are progressing. So let's say you started up 20 seconds, and then in another week you can do 30, another week in 40. Forearm and grip strength is vital when it comes to pull-ups, because a lot of the times it's not our back, because the back is such a big muscle. It's not the back that gets tired, it's actually our grip and our forearm. So don't forget to work on that, because that is another key factor into getting your pull-up. So hopefully if you apply a lot of these exercises into your routine once a week, twice a week, and be consistent, I can guarantee you that you should be able to get your first pull-up. You just have to be consistent with doing every single one of these exercises. So be religious about it. Program them into your sessions. It doesn't matter if you can't do a full pull-up, but you still want to do the accessory work that would help you get to the point where you can do your first pull-up. Now, the first time you do this, you could, go through every single step and then try and do a pull-up. However, I would actually even just stick to the accessory work the first 2-3 weeks and then attempt to do a pull-up. Get comfortable with every single one of these exercises before you even attempt the main thing. Because a lot of the times we just rush, this is what I find, people just rush into doing things and don't learn how to do them properly. Okay, you can get your first pull-up, but what about the second, what about the third? So all these accessory work and exercises that I've given you will help you to progress onto doing pull-ups, but not just doing one, but doing quite a few in a row. So for a lot of you out there who can do pull-ups, and you can probably do 10, I would say if you can do 10 pull-ups comfortably, then you probably want to progress this. Now, a lot of the times people do get stuck because it's like, well, how can I progress this? There is so many ways you can do that. One thing I would recommend is getting some straps. There's absolutely nothing wrong with using some straps to help you get a few more reps when doing pull-ups, because that would help you to progress. One of my favorite things to do is tempo. I mean, you guys know me for my time under tension, but what we're going to do is take that a bit more to the extreme, where we are going to do tempo pull-ups. So with tempo pull-ups, what I like to do is 2 to 3 second hold at the top of the pull-up, and then 3 to 4 seconds during the eccentric. What's great about this is you can play around with the tempo with how long you hold it. So if you hold it for 4 seconds at the top of the exercise, and then 4 seconds during the eccentric, 5 seconds, 6 seconds. I love doing tempos because you're putting your lats under as much tension as possible, which will help you to not only grow, but also will help you improve on your pull-ups and help improve on your grip strength, because holding on to that bar requires a lot of grip and forearm strength. So work on adding some tempo pull-ups into your routine. And next we have weighted pull-ups. Now this is a no-brainer. A lot of you probably already do this, but if you don't, add some weighted pull-ups into your training. Trust me, that makes a huge difference. It can be something like 5 kilos, 10 kilos. That extra weight would help you progress your pull-ups. Now, I prefer using kettlebells, but some people like using dumbbells, some people use plates, but I prefer using kettlebells because it's small and it's not too chunky, especially like using plates. So start with maybe 5 reps of heavy weighted pull-ups and add that into your training. So maybe if you do this for 4 or 5 weeks and then you go and try and do max effort pull-ups, you find that you're doing more pull-ups than you could before, just from getting stronger, okay? This is what we want if you want to progress. You need to get stronger, and the only way you will get stronger is progressive overload. Putting the muscle under as much stress as possible is the best way to grow. So try and add some weighted pull-ups into your sessions. It doesn't have to be high volume. We're talking 5 reps, 6 reps, just to get you stronger. Just like every exercise you do, pull-ups should be the same. You need to try and find a way to progress them. Now, an alternative, if you don't have a dip belt, is use a rucksack. So that's it, that's the video. I hope you find it helpful. I hope it can help you get your first pull-up or to progress your pull-ups and get you stronger. I feel that a lot of us in the fitness industry, we forget that some people are newbies and some people can't perform certain lifts. So myself included, I see this a lot with my CrossLifter plans, where I have given scaled version of how to do pull-ups and also progression. However, we don't tend to do that enough on YouTube or on Instagram. There isn't a lot of people that do the basic how-to. And I feel that I would have loved to have had, a channel where I can get some awesome training, but also learn some of the basics and learn to progress some of the basics. So it's great, for you to watch me training and do all these crazy stuff, but I want you to be able to learn something as well. And hopefully I'll be able to start adding a few more. So, I've done a lot of bodybuilding videos, and I do a lot of instructions anyway on my bodybuilding videos, but I will now take a step back and do the bodybuilding, the strength and conditioning, the CrossFit stuff, but how to do the basic stuff and how to be better at the basic stuff and progress at the basic stuff. Things like simple bench pressing, squats. I did the arm video last year, so I will do a lot more of that. But yeah, hopefully you guys are learning some things from my channel. You can take away something and apply them to your training and not just watch me for the sake of it. So yeah, I'll stop ranting on now. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. It helps me out massively and I appreciate you for doing that. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Peace out.